I'm Rachel Forchella. I'm a copywriter and a content strategist. I work with female entrepreneurs to uncover their message, reveal their voice, and empower them to create content that helps them to build profitable businesses. That means, in a nutshell, I help you to figure out what to say, how to say it, where to say it, and who to say it to. In this masterclass, I'm going to share with you what content actually is, why it's important, and how it can help you to get visible and grow your business, and the magic ingredient, how what you believe can help you to share your message and get your audience to really connect and engage with you. So, what is content? Content is a word that we hear a lot these days, and it's become a bit of a buzzword, but there's no need to kind of be afraid of it. All content is the information that you share with your clients, your potential clients, and your online audience. And that's things like your blogs, your social media posts, it is newsletters, it's webinars and podcasts, and the videos you create, including the live streams that you do on Instagram stories, IGTV and Facebook lives, or maybe even you've got a YouTube channel. It's literally no more complicated than that. So, why do we need content? What is the point of content? Well, the point of content is to get your online audience to know, like, and trust you. If they get to know you, they might like you. And if they like you, they can begin to trust you. And that means that when they're ready to buy, they're going to buy from you. You don't sell directly to content. Your content should be designed to help you to build a relationship with your audience. It is a conversation and not a broadcast. Does every business need to create content? Well, if you want to grow your business mainly or wholly online, then 100% yes, you do. If you're a freelancer, or you want to remain a freelancer, or you mainly get your business through referrals or word of mouth, then maybe not. However, in this increasingly online world, creating content, great content, will never harm your business. A caveat: content is not the be all and end all. It should be part of your marketing strategy, not the entire thing. You still need to use PR. Where appropriate, you still need to do advertising. You need to get out there and be visible and get networking, either online in Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, or at in-person events. You still need to pick up the phone and make that sales call. So let's go back to know, like, and trust. If you want to get people to like you, you have to get out there. You need to get a Facebook page, you need to go on Instagram, you might even get a YouTube channel. And to do all that, you're going to need some great photos and some great content to show people who you really are. And once you're out there, you need to get people to like you. And that's where things get a little bit tricky. You've probably seen the meme, not everybody likes you, you're not a pizza or a donut or a puppy. And that's absolutely fine. You need to start with the premise that not everybody is your tribe. You are not for everybody. You have to identify your ideal clients, exactly who they are, and speak only to them. Because if you're speaking to everyone, you're speaking to no one. What does that mean? Well, if you create something that is designed to interest everybody, offend no one, at best it's going to be bland, and at worst it's going to be confused, and it is not going to be interesting to anybody. So, who is your ideal client? Your ideal client is somebody who loves you and your brand and what you stand for. They will buy your core product, and most importantly, they will recommend you to other people. And before you can speak to your ideal clients, you have to know exactly who they are. And in order to know this, there are a few essential questions that you need the answer to. Firstly, who is she? How old is she? Where does she live? What are her personality traits? What are her goals, hopes, and dreams? Not just in business, but in life in general. What keeps her awake at night? What gives her anxiety? What gets her up in the morning? What makes her excited about her life and what she's going to do with it? And what information does she need from you in order to like, know and trust you enough to buy from you? Because once you know these things, you can really tailor your content to connect with her. And as a bonus, the more you know your ideal client, the more you can tailor and design and mold your products and services to what it is that she really wants and needs from you. So, your ideal client knows who you are, you're creating content directly for her, so she likes you. How do you get her to trust you? Well, when it comes to your content, that comes down to just two things: quality and consistency. Firstly, quality. This is simple. Everything that you put out there, whether it's a blog, on your Instagram posts or webinars, should be valuable. And if it's not particularly valuable, it should at least be entertaining but in a relevant way. What does valuable mean? Valuable makes things easy for your audience. It makes it completely clear who you are, what you do, who you do it for, how you do it, and most importantly, how they can buy that from you. You need to be really focused on building a relationship with your audience, showing them that you understand who they are, what they want, and where they're going. You need to demonstrate your expertise by sharing advice and tips so that they know the value that they will get from you when they eventually come to buy from you. As well as informing and educating your audience, it's important to entertain them as well. But this doesn't mean that you share any silly cat meme or whatever. Everything that you share with your audience needs to be relevant in some way. So, for example, I work with female entrepreneurs, and if I'm going to share with them something that isn't my own personally created content, I might share an article from Forbes or the BBC website, for example, that I think that they will find useful in their business. Or maybe on a Monday morning, I'll share an uplifting music video. It's just content that shows that you care about your audience and that you know what matters to them. Equally as important as quality content is consistency. First of all, you have to be consistent when it comes to the regularity that you create your blogs and your social media posts. You need to show up when you say you will, or when it is that your audience expects you to turn up. I often get asked, how often should I be creating content? And my answer is that if you want to build your brand, if you want to build that recognition with your audience and grow that trust with your audience, that you need to be showing up pretty much online every single day in one form or another. Now, I know that every day sounds a lot, but you don't need to be creating brand new content every day. You can repurpose existing content that you've created. You can cut down blogs and make them into social media posts, or you can literally repost something that you posted 6 months ago, maybe with a fresh photo and some new hashtags on it, for example. You can comment on somebody else's post that is still showing up. You can do a quick video, a quick Insta story if you're on Instagram, for example. It's all these things that show your audience that you're not going away, that you are going to be there for them, and they can rely on you to be there for them every day. For most of us, if we've got blocks around getting visible or we're just too damn busy, creating content can drop to the bottom of your to-do list. But the fact is, if people can't see you, you're not going to have any impact. The onus is on you to make sure that you stay in people's feeds and in their inboxes. When it comes to repurposing your content, people worry about being boring. However, I can guarantee you that at best, 10% of your audience is seeing any one piece of content that you put out there. So don't worry about repeating yourself. You will get bored of hearing yourself saying the same things much faster than your audience will. And if you do have people who are following every single thing you're putting out there, they're reading every newsletter, every blog, they're liking and commenting on every single Instagram post that you're creating, well, they're a super fan and they're not going to get bored anyway, so don't worry about that. My second point around consistency is around your message. You have to have exactly the same message show up as the same person in every single touch point in your business. You need to use the same message in the same tone of voice. You need to be describing yourself exactly the same in your Facebook bio as you are in your LinkedIn bio. As soon as you introduce any confusion as to who you are or what you do or who you do it for, you've lost that trust in your audience, even if that's only subconsciously. Most of us operate in a crowded marketplace. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of other people out there doing what you do. And the thing is, if you are not creating content, I can guarantee that your competitors are. If you don't create content, people won't be able to find you. And I mean that literally, as creating content can really help you with your SEO as well. Google did some research and they discovered that in order to make a buying decision, people needed around 7 hours of content in 11 locations across 4 different touch points. Now I know that sounds a lot, however, if you just do a few blogs, a few Facebook lives, and you post on Instagram every day, that 7 hours actually comes together really, really quickly. And now I'm going to share with you the one thing, that magic ingredient that is going to make it so much easier for you to create content for your business. That thing is your message. Now you've probably heard of the Simon Sinek talk and book, Start With Why. Now, what if your why is simply because you wanted to match your corporate 9-to-5 salary but have more flexibility in your life? I surveyed 200 female entrepreneurs and I asked them what the reason was for them starting their business, and the number one answer, 54% of people said freedom, and that was followed in second place, 26% by money. And I don't know about you, but the reason I started my business was to get more freedom. However, your clients and potential clients don't care about how easy it is for you to pick up your child from school, and they don't care how easy it is for you to pay your mortgage, or the fact that you want to go on holiday to Bali for 4 weeks. But I'm going to come back to that in a few minutes. Money and freedom may be our top choices, are necessary reasons for starting our business, but they're not the only reasons. We're humans, and humans have emotions, feelings and beliefs. Most of us want to make a mark in the world, and a positive one at that. So for most of us entrepreneurs, there is something greater at play than just money or freedom. And it's this greater thing that helps us get up in the morning and make that impact in the world. What is it? It's your message, your calling. That's something inside of you that is at the same time bigger than you. Now I know that sounds really grand and fancy and very Oprah-ish, Deepak Chopra-ish, Richard Branson-ish, but stay with me here. What if I told you that your big message doesn't have to be about saving the planet or curing disease? It absolutely can be, but it doesn't have to be. What if I told you that if you were a jewelry designer, for example, that your big message could be that you believe that every woman should own that one piece of jewelry that means something special to her? Or if you run a coffee shop, that you believe that there should be no such thing as a bad cup of coffee. Your big message can be anything so long as it matters to you. And I just want to say here that no message is better or worse or more worthy than another. Any positive message is a good thing. And what if I told you that figuring out your big message could transform your business? It will give you clarity on who you are, who you serve, how to serve them, and most importantly, how to communicate with them. That understanding your big message is a missing link when it comes to creating copy and content for your business. Your audience doesn't care about how much money you earn or how easy it is for you to pick up your kids from school, but they do care about the things that matter to them, impact them, their lives and their businesses. As I mentioned before, we're all human beings, and all human beings crave connection. We want to understand and be understood. Essentially, we all want to belong. We evolved in tribes, and that biological instinct still stays with us. Your big message will help you to connect with your ideal client and engage with them. Your big message will make you feel passion. And when you work from that place of passion, you will naturally be more authentic and genuine. And that in itself is very powerful, because as humans, our brains and our guts are hardwired to sense fakes and frauds. You'll express yourself with enthusiasm, and that enthusiasm will engage your audience and generate excitement. You will evoke emotion by expressing your own. And when it comes to purchases, we buy emotionally, not rationally. Harvard did some research and they found that 95% of purchases are driven by the subconscious emotional level, not with logical reasoning. Your message is powerful in more ways than one. So, how does defining your big message help you to create copy and content for your business? For years, I have spoken with female entrepreneurs about creating content for their businesses, and the number one thing I hear them say is, I just don't know what to write. In the past, I've suggested a list of topics that they could write about, and they've nodded their heads, said thank you. And when I've seen them 4 weeks later at the next networking event and asked them how they've got on, they just stand there and go, Rachel, I tried, but I just didn't know what to say. And I could understand how these intelligent women with so much talent and so much to say couldn't put that message into words. Then I had my light bulb moment. They had no foundation, no context. Creating content without context is hard. Content without context is boring, soulless, and has no impact. Your big message is a foundation of your business, and therefore it is a foundation of your content. Now, you don't talk about your big message in every blog, every social media post, but it's just a touchstone. It's the point at where you start to create your content. It's where you go when you don't know what to say. My big message is that I want to help women to build profitable businesses. Businesses that will help them to become financially independent. Because a woman who is financially independent has more of a say in her own life and by extension the world. And I believe that the world would be a better place with a louder female voice in it. I rarely talk about this explicitly, but it's the foundation of my content and my business. It's my compass. As soon as I started to share this concept of a big message with my clients, they immediately found it easier to start creating content. And that's because your big message will reveal your voice. You know what to say and how to say it, and you're empowered to do so because it comes from a belief deep within you. Your message isn't manufactured. It's not a mission statement that you slap on your website or a list of values that you create because everybody else is doing it. It's what you truly, genuinely believe, think, and feel. However, a big message is exactly that, big. To uncover your big message, you have to be really honest with yourself, and you have to be prepared to answer some very deep and some very big questions. What do you believe in? What do you stand for? What do you want to bring to the world? What do you want to change in the world? What do you want your legacy to be? I'm hoping that the idea of creating your big message is really exciting you, but I know that the idea of creating a big message can be really scary, and right now I want to empower you, not freak you out. You might be thinking, I don't want to be in the spotlight. I don't want to look like a show-off. What I have to say isn't all that important. Someone else is already saying what I want to say. If that's the case, I have 4 things to say to you. Number 1, you don't have to be in the spotlight to share your message. You can share your message quietly, discreetly and quite frankly in any way that you want to. The fact is that somebody might need to hear what your message is, and the important thing is that you do share your message. Sharing your message doesn't make you look like a show-off. You have as much right as anyone to take up space in this world. And as I mentioned in my last point, you never know how sharing your message might positively impact someone else's life. Number 3, what you have to say is important. Full stop. Number 4, someone else is already saying what you want to say. So what? You are unique. No one in the world is like you. And that means that anything that you have to say, by definition, is completely unique. You just say it in your own voice. Your message is unique and special, and the world needs to hear it.